Which camera do we look at?
Well, we can just keep swapping around, I guess.
I don't know. But so I'm going to pick that one. All right.
All right.
Okay. So hi,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So we've got I've got the long Grinch hat on. Okay. Oh, bah humbug. And you're the cheetah Santa.
I am.
Yeah, cheetah Santa. Okay. So hey, it's Lawyer Greg and Rob the Brit here, and after a long delay, a bit of
been since September, yeah.
We've been on a holiday. Isn't that what they say across the pond?
Yes.
You don't go on vacation, you go on a holiday.
Go on holiday, that's right.
And right now it is the holidays. It's the Christmas holidays, and we're talking about how to keep pushing through the holidays. Holidays are always a different type of year. You know, a lot of times people want to pay Santa Claus and not an attorney or not a business person. It depends. I mean, I think retail, they make out during the holidays. Because, you know, but other professional businesses, I think, get hurt. Accountants I've talked to experience similar things.
Well, people's focus is just not on business. It's not on their finances or whatever. It's all on, in this case, Christmas season. It's focused so much on that area.
Yeah, the focus is off. The focus is off. And I found wherever I put my laser focus, and we've talked about that, and I think that's something that would be great to explore in this episode, or a Richard Branson, or an Elon Musk. How in the world do they divert their focus? Do they hurt themselves by diverting their focus? And would you hurt yourself by diverting your focus? I know with the holidays, people divert their focus to their families more. They want time off. They're not really thinking about the grind. And business life is so much. Entrepreneurship is so much about the grind. It's every day. Getting the job done every single day, right?
Yeah.
And so there's always a tension there for me. It's like, man, I love my childhood memories of Christmas. I love Christmas. I love what it represents. I love being with my family. We need downtime and time off to rest and recharge.
Yeah.
But also,
if you neglect,
But I'm a pusher. I want to keep pushing and keep going forward.
If you neglect your business, you're going to really suffer. I mean, we all know how many businesses fail every year.
Yeah.
Especially new businesses. I mean, that's a huge percentage. It's something like 90% of them or 85% of them.
They're on a holiday, permanent holiday.
Yeah, in 3 to 5 years.
Right. So it's just so key to keep your eye on the prize, your eye on the ball, if you will, and keep focused during the holidays. And one of the reasons that I decided, literally, I called Rob up and I said, Rob, I'm not focused on. My focus, my attention is being divided. I'm devoting a ton of time to the RockStar Lawyer Project, a ton of time to the podcast, a ton of time to writing in that area, and also in creating content. But also, I have a law practice to run. I have a law practice to grow, and also we bought a new building.
That's right.
And
it was a big move.
And we're moving into that new space. I've got to take a time out. I've got to eliminate some of the things that are dividing my attention, so that I can focus just on that. And that was a positive thing. It was absolutely essential for me to do that. And a friend of mine and business coach, Bob Demers, who I work with, mentioned don't dilute the scotch. That always comes to mind.
That's a good
Don't dilute the scotch. So. And how do you reconcile that with a Richard Branson who's got 50 million projects going, or an Elon Musk who's doing a hyperloop from like LA to San Francisco or wherever it's going, and also launching missions to the moon and Mars, and also creating electric cars, and also running a solar panel and a battery factory. How do you do that?
Well, we've spoken about this earlier, was resources. Both Branson and Musk have massive amounts of resources. They are able to have an idea, send it off to whoever they feel is the appropriate person to get that moving, and then they can then get on with something else.
So
most people don't.
And by resources, you mean money.
Money might come into it, but I think even in a small business, you can still do it to an extent. If you've got an idea,
right?
I think people like to control their ideas so much that they don't want to send it out to someone else in case they lose that control.
I would refer anyone listening back to any prior podcast that we've done or video that we've done about delegation.
Yeah,
because
delegation is huge.
And what comes to mind. We all relate things back personally. That's extremely important to me. It has to be personal. You can't hit a fastball if you have a tight grip on the bat. You have to have a loose grip on the bat.
Okay.
So a loose grip on a bat actually allows you to react quickly because your hands instantly tighten. Okay. You can't go from tight to loose. Okay?
You can't be focused on that time. You just got to let it happen, kind of thing.
It does. Yes, that's.
And then you'll naturally tighten up when it's ready to, anyway.
That's correct. That's correct. But if you're tight already, then you can't hit that fastball. You can't
right.
adjust to the curveball, right? You can't adjust from a curveball to a fastball. You've got to be have a loose grip on the bat to be able to hit those balls when they come and adjust to them. So I think similar to business and life. You've got to be able to loosen up your control of your enterprise, your business, your pet grooming shop, your car wash, whatever it is, and trust yourself and trust others and be able to entrust others, to train others, to break down what you do into parts and give that out to other people. Okay. So in order to grow, you have to be able to do that. And you're saying that that's part of diverting your focus as well, is not really diverting your focus, but multiplying yourself through other people, letting them take that ball and run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So my fear is and I hate to speak from my fears. I mean, that's a great place to speak from, right? Is your fears. You never want to be ruled by your fears. But how do we divert, or how do we give someone a new idea, a new company to run with? How do we do that and trust that they're going to run with it without being a mega billionaire like Branson and Elon Musk and have it carried out correctly? I mean, we were talking before the episode came on for the last hour about a new business venture, an idea that I would love to be able to explore and love to be able to do. How would we do that how would I do that without diverting my focus?
Well, you'd have to.
I love exploring things while we're doing it.
You'd have to really investigate the person that you were going to delegate to. You want to make sure that is the right person.
Right.
You don't just want to pick anyone and just think, well, they can do it. They've got experience to an extent in that area. They can do it. You want to really make sure that your vision is going to be passed to them and they're going to be able to follow it to an extent, but bring their own vision into it as well. I mean, they've got to have some passion about it.
They do. So your CEO has to really be passionate about what,
if they're
to take that ball and run with it.
If they're just being paid a salary to do it, it's not. It's going to be about that salary to
understood.
The money.
Well, I mean, I know even building out this space that we're in now over the last over the summer between May really and September. We moved in around October 1.
Yeah.
I think that's around the time.
And this is another area of focus. Greg has moved from his old building to this one. So if you've been familiar with our old podcast with the video, this is not the same building.
Yeah, so this is a totally new. Let's give them a tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the building. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys with us. All right. So we're going to give you a tour of the building. Okay, so we were in one of the conference rooms, which is what I would call my small conference room, and then we have other offices. We have contractors that come in and use that office all the time. Front desk area, huge front desk area, and wraps around with copy room and everything else. We're in a client waiting room area.
And it's a much, much bigger building than your last one.
Oh yeah, it's got a ton more space. It's on a corner we call the gateway to Uptown Shelby. The corner that it's located on, and the gateway is right across from a church, which I happen to go to. And we, front street parking, cool glass that looks into the building. And let's show them some more of the inside. So this took up a lot of my time and focus. Well worth it, but it just took a lot of time and focus to do it.
Yeah, it needed to be renovated.
Sure. Oh man, it had to be renovated. Complete renovation. Gutted it. And we've got a huge conference table in here. For me, it's huge. And Merry Christmas with the Christmas tree. And great view of outside in that intersection. And a nice, we've got lots of big TVs in here that make it a really cool, creative space.
I think you called that the fishbowl, right?
The fishbowl, that's right. My office would be the fishbowl too. This is Taylor's office. She does some marketing for us. And we have Diane Thackerson's office, the probate queen and probate director. And then we have what will be my office. And I hate the echoes in here. It just is. It's very
different once you've got everything in.
The conference room was when we put the conference table and some more other furniture in there. The echo killed some of the echo.
Right.
You can get tiles that kind of slant that hang down from the ceiling. We were thinking about doing some of those acoustic tiles too. But my office is set up to go. The reason there's no desk in here now is because I believe that Warren, our contractor, is making a desk, or his guys are making a desk similar to the conference table. That's what I want. But I use the conference rooms all the time anyway for business. We got another office in here that's sitting vacant, that is stacked with new furniture, but we're going to the idea is to bring in a new staff member, new attorney in that office, or a financial planner. We talked about that too. Sonia, our office manager's office, in the back corner. Sonia, very much a heart and soul of our business. Back room where we keep the things we don't show everybody else, bathrooms. And we've got a couple of offices back here too that are empty that I haven't filled up, but I'm going to fill those up too. And that's very law of attraction. We can talk about that a little bit, but yeah. We've got a break room, right? That's going to be, that we have furnished, but all our things aren't up on the wall. We have a marketing team that also puts everything on the wall for us, and a full kitchen because we do a fair amount of entertaining and events. So we've got a full kitchen to work with, which I really love, the full kitchen. So we're back in the other conference room. So I diverted my focus to that for quite a while.
And you needed to.
I did. And we did better this year than we did last year as a company, right? As a firm. But it was hard. It was very hard to divert my focus. I had to delegate a lot of that to my contractor, who I had trust in, to be able to complete this out like I wanted. And I'm still on people, to bring in, to finish off little things that need to be done in this building.
And all businesses have these issues come up. They all have problems that come up that have to be dealt with. They can't just be swept under the carpet. You can't just ignore them. It doesn't matter what the season is. If the Christmas can't get in the way of the business.
I think, my experience with the building is relevant to Christmas. It's the same type thing. It's just splitting your focus. How can we keep our minds and the business focused and not, say dilute the scotch, so to speak, but also be able to take on a variety of things. And I think we have to really, really keep our eye on the prize, which is, I think you have to keep the main thing the main thing. And that's, doing that. My firm is the main thing. And it needs time and attention because, for it to grow. And I'm the head and direction here.
Right.
So, and at Christmas, we want to take the time out to be with our families, to remember what the season's about. But also, I'm constantly striving and coming up with different strategies, so it's not a downtime. We run Christmas specials, which have worked rather well. We take the time to touch base back with people who we've met with during the year who haven't hired us.
Yeah.
We try to tie up loose ends with people who've had a hard time making decisions, who may have hired us or partially hired us to come in and sign documents, make decisions, get it done. And I think we've done a pretty good job of doing that and keeping everything going through the December month. And a time when people, are more focused on, buying gifts for everyone instead of, planning with their attorneys, which is kind of what my business is. So
yeah, I don't want it to sound like I'm being Ebenezer Scrooge by saying, forget about Christmas. It's all about business. It's not, of course, but you've got to have your focus in the right areas at certain times. You take the time out for Christmas, for whatever holiday it is. But
my drive and focus makes the holiday possible.
Yeah.
For my wife and 6 children.
And he's 6. Does have 6.
I hope they appreciate that. But yeah, keeping that being a little bit of, there's a little bit of Scrooge there too. There is. What the other side of Scrooge they don't show you on A Christmas Story is, Scrooge had a family.
A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol. Yeah, A Christmas Carol. Sorry, A Christmas Carol. If Scrooge had a family and could benefit from his thriftiness with the money, right, and his drive in business, right, that were benefiting from the goods and the charitable things he can do with his money too.
That would be another interesting movie. Have a movie. If there's any business execs who are interested in making movies, that would be an interesting.
It'd be an interesting story if you rewrote A Christmas Carol from a positive entrepreneur's perspective.
Yeah.
Where I think Scrooge was, Scrooge treated people badly, though.
He was so far over the top, though.
Yeah.
That was the issue. I mean, you're not going to find many. I don't think many business people who would be quite that extreme.
You will find them that will be that extreme.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I think that your top business people are that. I really do. I think they're absolutely extreme. But here's the conundrum, the irony of that selfishness and that Scroogedness, right? That Scrooge mentality. Okay, man, this is going to end up being about Scrooge and how Scrooge is a great guy. And I've talked about this at length before, and I've looked at this and I've thought about this. Who does the most with what they have? Who in the world?
Who does the most?
Why can Richard Branson and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and those guys? Why can they do what they do and have multiple businesses and everything? Because of their resources, because of their money.
Yeah.
Because they focused intently on growing the crap out of their business until it was absolutely through the roof successful, and they were mega billionaires.
And they're not willing to, as we said before, hold off on delegation.
No.
They wouldn't be able to do it if they didn't delegate.
True. But at this point, they're turning around and doing what? I mean, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they're changing lives, changing the continent of Africa with water and disease cures, and, and giving away the majority of their money, through philanthropy. If would they be able to do those things if they hadn't been driven and focused? And I'm not going to say that they were totally selfish at the rise to the top. I just know how many. I mean, it takes all your power and resources. It had to do that.
It does, yeah. I mean, it does take a huge amount.
So, is there an argument to be made that be Scrooge now, so you can be virtuous later?
To an extent, I think Scrooge.
And how are you ever going to get there unless you're laser focused?
I mean, it was a very. It's a very negative story, most of it. I just don't think most people are that focused on Well, it wasn't as though his business was successful, but he wasn't
think
making
Gates and
himself
Buffett
even
were?
comfortable.
You-
I mean, at least
I don't know
Bill
that.
Gates and
I don't know
all
that they were. I mean, Buffett is really grounded. Buffett is just really talented.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to
Yeah.
have if you've got the money, you have to have a mansion and a Lamborghini and all that
Buffett
stuff.
really doesn't. I mean, he still lives in the same
Whatever makes you
ranch house he
comfortable.
bought like when he was younger with his
But he
wife.
has the freedom to, if he wishes.
Yeah, his luxury is his private jet. He says, the company jet is something that they really utilize. They
Yeah.
go around all the time to different places and evaluating companies and doing business and other things. So that's his big luxury.
And if there was a in was it Inc. magazine or Fortune magazine, there was an article about Jared Kushner's brother, Josh Kushner, and they were saying that he started a $1 billion startup from scratch during Obama, all based around Obamacare. Apparently. Would he have been able to do that without his family's resources? Probably not.
Right.
I mean, he was groomed for that basically
Right.
his entire life. But most people aren't going to be able to do that. They wouldn't have a clue. They wouldn't know who to talk to,
Right.
who to talk to get it moving.
But you have to do what you can do with what you have.
Yeah, I mean, you
And that
need
same
focus.
intent, focus, and drive, I think will through. That's another missing piece for me, is that I think we're not talking about too, is access to capital, access to those resources. And we talked about, I think I go back to somebody like a Gary Vee or somebody like that who constantly preaches patience. I just think that once you climb the rungs to the ladder, once you make connections, once you grow your business through focus, through not being selfish but self-full, I think, through focusing on the right things and cutting out everything else, the distractions, drinking on the weekends, partying.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you got to be a teetotaler. You know what I mean? I mean,
Well,
I love
good
to have
point.
people over. You came to a Christmas party that we had. We had plenty of booze.
Yeah.
But
But
it's just
that's a very good point,
Yeah.
because I think most people do waste an awful lot of time,
waste their damn time. That's right. I agree.
and they could use that a lot more effectively.
Although, I mean, there's something to be said for tension management there too, where you're getting some downtime. You're disengaging your brain too, so
Yeah.
that it can do
Yeah.
what it does best, which is work out the hard stuff
Yeah, you've really got to
and rest and recharge.
map out your day.
So I think some meditation there, some exercise, getting that in. But I still don't love the term balance, although I'm softened up a little bit in my old age in the last couple of years.
We've got to be able to clear your mind of all the garbage
Right.
so that you can focus. If your mind's so cluttered with everything going on in your life, you're going to really have a struggle to focus on just business
I agree.
when you need to.
I agree. So keeping that focus over the holidays. How do you do that over the holidays? How do you keep your focus on your business over the holidays? How do you?
You've got to map
still
out
keep it
your
going?
day. I mean, we've spoken about this before.
Yeah,
Planning out your
book of
day.
secrets.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's what you do. Is you write it out, you map it out,
Yeah.
and you stick to it, and you respect your time,
Mhm.
and while also programming downtime in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little travel to get perspective.
And
Travel
even
always
in
brings
those
perspective.
downtimes, that's a lot of the time when you suddenly get the aha moment, when you're not focused on.
One of the first videos I've ever done was, I want to say, a number of years ago, probably 6-7 years ago.
Mhm.
I put together a video to hype seminars that I was going to do for the next year, and that was on Christmas Day. Okay, and on Christmas Day in an old rental house that we were in, that looked like a freaking haunted house. Okay, it was big, but it was a little dark. Okay, it was a little dingy. All right, but sat there and did a hype promo video on seminars for 2017, and it was like a Jason Bourne promo. It was, it was very action packed, and the music and everything,
Yeah.
And what followed was a year full of seminars and growing the business and getting out there. So it is a great time to let your mind just do its thing and say, aha, I'm going to do a action-packed promo video for seminars that I can do. Email it to everyone I can think of that I could do a seminar for their organization, and then follow that up with phone calls the first of the year to hammer out the details on that and get in the door to do seminars and pack the year full of seminars.
And another thing.
And I'm going to commit to X number of seminars per week, X number per month, some big, some small, and I'm going to do that every year. Now I have other people who do that for me, who plan this for me.
Well, another thing that you can also do is, one of the areas, again, that we've focused on before is the breakdown, is when you're planning out your day, even if it is at Christmas, even if it is Christmas Day, if you don't plan out and break down those areas that if there's an issue at work or something that has to be done, and you know it's got to be done by a certain period of time, if you break it down into the smallest parts, you can still just take a little time to deal with the most important areas. And by the time you get to figuring out this plan after Christmas or whatever holiday it is, it's going to be a lot simpler. You've already started the process. You've broken it down. You've figured out a few things. It doesn't take that much time to do that.
Now I'm at the point where I want to list. I like to keep things simple.
Yeah.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, Steve.
Absolutely.
Okay? Right? Because it works for me. Okay. And it works for the people around. It just helps keep focus. A marketing plan for me that is, that thick, right? It's huge, multiple pages. That doesn't work for me.
No.
I mean, how are you going to keep your head wrapped around all that all the time?
Well, you're not.
You're not, right? And I don't think the people around you are.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is, now we're getting into our New Year's show and planning for the year, which I think we should do. I think we should do a show next week about planning, okay? About planning for the new year.
That'd be a good one.
That's something that I'm big on. Christmas time is a great time to get your thoughts together, to have some downtime, get extra sleep, let your brain heal and recoup from getting beat up during the year and lack of sleep and everything else, right? So you're going to get some more nutrition over the holidays, get a bunch of food in you, get a bunch of sleep. And then that's the tension management part that I still haven't fully wrapped my head around. But just the way the mind works, it's going to solve all your problems. It's going to naturally reflect and review on the year. And then the trick is to take that and boil that down to what worked and what didn't work, and then come up with a simple plan going forward for the next year. Like I have in front of me the beginnings of a marketing plan that will end up being less than one page with bullet points right here that will be our mission for the year, that I believe will expand our practice multiple times over. And our revenues and our reach and our geographic reach.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to boil that down to something simple and use that going forward as a plan. And my marketing person will use that too. I will meet with them. I will talk about it with other people. I will value and I will weigh their perspectives. And what will come out are these, and there's always these aha moments where I break it down. I mean, I think I've been thinking about this 6-step plan, which I added a couple of things in there also for probably the whole year. And before that, and it's a culmination of things. And I've been working on a lot of those things the last quarter. And then how we use those tools, the big projects last quarter, just came together the other night for me. And I sat down and in two minutes, literally or less, read out the plan. Yeah. Because it was time.
Yeah.
Those things amaze me. And then seeing those things work. It's part of why I love doing business and why I love entrepreneurship, even as an attorney. just, that's why I call this, which looks like a freaking Harry Potter book. That's why my wife, not lovingly but jokingly, calls it the Book of Secrets. Okay, and so do other people. All right, but I like to keep, and this is just my most recent. Actually, I'm probably 80%, maybe 70% through this book. Using it, but I like to write those things down, my affirmations every day as to where I'm going to be, as if it's present tense. We've talked a lot about that in past shows about goal setting.
Yeah.
Now I do those after reading a book by Scott Adams. Okay. He talks about, and listening to an interview with Tim Ferriss. Scott Adams is where he interviewed Scott Adams. It's probably an hour long or more interview. It's just a long form interview. Scott Adams created Dilbert, the cartoon.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's big into affirmations, and he writes the affirmations down as if they have already happened, present tense. And he has some really funny stories about how he got into doing that. Basically, stems from his study and love of hypnosis, okay, which he actually employs in his Dilbert cartoons as well. Which might be called sales and marketing now, okay, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Those methods, and the affirmations on why they work, if they work, and just he has some different theories on that are extremely interesting. But it resonated with me. I used to use a very regimented way to track everything, but I stopped. I stopped using so I stopped using someone else's planner at one point, okay, over the last year, and I started using my own. So I think it's a great time to come up with your own formula and your own plan. I can hear other people's voices in my head saying that's not going to work because people need structure, a way to do it. I found what I believe is my own way to do it. And we're getting into some year in review and reflections, things that'd be great for next week's show. But talking about how to maybe set up your day, set up your life for success in 2018, and do a good review of 2017. The affirmations are just amazing. How the universe works is amazing.
Yeah, start to see whether or not you've accomplished everything you wanted to this year, or if not, move it forward.
And maybe that wasn't meant to be. And do you have the right things in your head that you need to accomplish? Right. And really get perspective on that and where you're going. I don't have all the answers. I'm constantly searching for answers and this show is such a chronicalization. Is that a word?
It is now.
Chronicle. It's such a chronicle, of it is now. You can ization anything, okay? All right. So I didn't have the benefit of a proper English education, okay? Britt Rob, I'm from Shelby, North Carolina. It is a chronicle of entrepreneurship, expansion, philosophy, business, and life and family, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
All those things. I don't know what all this means, but it kind of feels like a test sometimes, or something. You know what I mean? And then I'm constantly learning, and I'll never know a fraction of what I need to know to be who I need to be or get where I need to go.
Well, to finish off, I heard a great quote on Facebook recently, which was, I never lose, I either win or I learn. And I just thought that was fantastic.
There's
I don't know who said it, but I think it was fantastic.
There's no losing, only winning and learning.
Yeah.
I love that quote. I've said that quite a bit through the last.
I hadn't heard it before.
I'm trying to think of the first person I heard it from. There's no losing.
And that's just, it's so true.
So I think I mean, the things we learn the most from are generally our failures.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't learn.
And that's a whole.
Which is totally.
We have done
that's another show. We should do another show on that, because I mean that is absolutely 100,000%. That's 180 degrees away from how we raise children now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a helicopter parent your kid. You can't let them go out and scrape their own knees and make their own mistakes, right? Which is that's where you learn, right?
Yeah.
That's where you learn. You can tell me something a million times, but I don't really get it. And then the light bulb moments come when I'm like, crap, that's what he was talking about, you know? Or that's what this person was talking about. That's why I shouldn't have done that, right? But now I know, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I don't get it. I just shake that, How many times do you do that? Where you hear somebody giving you advice or talking about a situation or how to approach something? Yeah, okay.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, you go through it and you're like, crap, that's what he meant, you know, or that's what she meant, you know? So we'll explore that. I mean, it's going to be a great year, 2018.
Yes.
It's going to be a great show next week. Let's, if you're up for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do a review show.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take
end of year review.
I can just tell you what I'm going to do in my business is we're going to review. We're going to spend the next couple. We're going to work 2 days next week. We have a partial staff coming in, some key staff members that are key to planning, and we're just going to have a skeleton crew Thursday and Friday next week after Christmas holidays, and we're going to review the year, and we're going to talk about marketing and where we're taking the firm, and out of that, we're going to come up with simple plans to grow the firm. So keep your focus over the holidays. Focus on the family. Have fun. Get some rest, because I know you've killed it all year. And I guarantee you I will come out of this rest period, because I am going to get some downtime, renewed, refreshed, and with new ideas and ready to go. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Life's not a marathon, it's a series of sprints.
Hey, this is Lawyer Greg and Rob the Brit talking about Rockstar Lawyer. Rockstar Lawyer is a book that we wrote. And is it about being a lawyer, Rob?
No.
No, it's nothing about being a lawyer. Why did we name it Rockstar Lawyer? I'm wondering at this point. However, it is about entrepreneurship and about the journeys that we all take as business people through starting a business to actually running a business and trying to make it successful as much as possible, with some good wit and humor in there.
Yep.
Lots of quotes from famous women and men about that we use to show their experience and take off on and explain different things about how business work. I talk about gaining attention for your business, so there's a marketing element in there. I talk about how to set goals, how to accomplish them, and just take you on my journey and much, much more. What do you think, Rob?
Well, the whole business mindset thing is confusing at times. It really can take away from your business, and this book really helps you to focus. It helps you to look at the whole process of business in a different way.
And when I pick up a business book or any book, I want to get something out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I always come away, even if it's got nothing to do with what I'm thinking I want out of the book, I always come away with, oh man, I can apply that here this way. I think there's a lot of practical applications and ideas that you will take away from reading or listening to Rockstar Lawyer. And we've got several versions. We have an ebook version on Kindle and iTunes. We have an enhanced ebook, which is really cool because it shows videos of Rob and I talking about the book. It shows videos on each section of the book that just enhance the book and the experience.
Lawyer Greg website.
You can go to the Lawyer Greg website and interact with the book and watch those videos as well and watch content.
What is the website?
lawyergreg.com. lawyergreg.com. And
lawyergreg.com. lawyergreg.com/Rockstar Lawyer is to purchase the book, or you can go to Amazon to order the print book. Print books on Amazon. The ebooks and enhanced ebooks are on iTunes and Kindle, which is Amazon's ebook wing, and also the audiobook, which I narrate myself. Okay, and British Rob has parts in as well. So British Rob and I narrate the book, and I think you'll enjoy the audiobook. I had a ton of fun recording it. So check out Rockstar Lawyer. It's a good business book, and that's on Audible and iTunes as well. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Tally ho.